Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Being a Bridesmaid. This is part 2 where I, a chronically ill and neurodivergent person, show you the ropes of how I am going to pack for my trip. Let's get started. It's 4:40 p.m. and I leave tomorrow morning for my friend's wedding. And I completely procrastinated on a project that I was going to do for them. And now I have to get it done. So wish me luck. This is where I'm at, and that's not even the hard part. The hard part is that I'm gonna have to draw hands. So at this point, I decided to take a little bit of a break. I put some muffins on the counter for the morning, and I wanted to be very real with the way that I prepare. So one of the things that I have to do is drink some prune juice and take some laxatives. If you have chronic constipation with your chronic illness, you'll understand what I'm talking about, but that's something that I usually do. I also was trying to stay very, very hydrated for the week prior so that I would fare better on the travel and also during the wedding itself. Here I'm just packing some different things, including some compression wear. Compression wear is really important for me. I make sure that I pack those as well as electrolyte packets and that kind of stuff. I made a list previous to this, so I was just putting everything on the list in the bag. So at this point, I am pretty much packed. I have a couple of different things here. This is going to be what I'm going to wear tomorrow on the plane so that I don't have to pack all of these things. I also have a smaller bag that like a mini backpack that I pack, and I'll show that in a minute. But a couple of really important things that I have in here are this is great. It's actually a stool, so it just pops up like this so that if I end up needing to sit in an airport, I don't have to sit on the floor, and I also don't have to ask for like wheelchair assistance or anything, which I think is super cool. And the other thing that I packed is a full-size backpack. I think that on the day that I'm going to be like on the wedding site, I'm going to need a lot more things than just my mini backpack could potentially hold. Also, this gives me the opportunity, if they're all of a sudden like, you have to check your carry-on, because you all know how that goes, then I'm going to put my dress in here because I really cannot chance losing my bridesmaid's dress. So I would put that in here along with like my makeup and some other things that I would need and my shoes. And I think those items would specifically just fit in here. So that is my plan. Of course, I've got the Ziploc bag full of my liquids. Yeah, there you have it. So this is the point at which you guys are really gonna start to see my chronic illness and neurodivergence come out. I have this mini backpack from Vera Bradley that I absolutely adore. Unfortunately, they don't make this version anymore, but this is what I take with me everywhere. And I added some extra things specifically for this weekend. I usually don't carry quite this many things around, but we're gonna see if we can make it all fit in here. And I'm gonna talk you through what I'm bringing. So the first thing that I always bring is my noise canceling headphones. These are really important to me. I discovered that noise cancellation is really helpful to me like a year ago, and I've never gone back since. So I have that. I also have this pair of sunglasses that I always carry. I have snacks. I usually carry a couple of granola bars, fruit snacks, trail mix, something like that. And then I also found these olive packets from Trader Joe's, and I really like them. They help me get my sodium in for the day. I really need that. So I carry that. I always bring a water bottle. Typically, if I travel, I actually bring 2 empty water bottles. You can bring empty ones through TSA. One for electrolytes and one for water. Because I do have sensory issues that kind of can change based on the moment. Sometimes I'm drinking my electrolyte drink and I'm totally fine and I like it, and then all of a sudden I like can't do it anymore. So having water or something to kind of change the flavor in my mouth and keep me hydrated is really helpful. Today I drank a whole bunch of water and ate a whole bunch of salt, and I've been prepping in that way as well. So this is something that I usually carry in there. Fidget toys. I find that putting things in plastic bags is really helpful for me because then I can see what's in them and they're all kind of contained. My medications, I have portioned these out. I'm bringing an entire week's worth just in case. I probably won't need that much, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Oh boy, it's already getting full. Good thing I'm a pack rat. I'll figure it out. Okay. This is my electrolyte powders. I have, if you haven't tried these Herbox chicken broth packets, those are really good. They're super high in sodium if that's something that you need. And then I have hair ties, scrunchie, and clips. That just is self-explanatory. I usually bring my pulse oximeter. It just tells me what my pulse is and how my oxygen is doing. In the event that my Apple Watch dies, I like to have that on hand, or if I'm having really big fluctuations and I need something a little bit more specific. I always have a couple of pens and markers on me just in case. I just end up needing them quite often. I also like to draw, so I just end up doodling. In a similar vein, I'm bringing my Loop earplugs. I like them because I can still hear people talking. And then I've got this bag of miscellaneous hand sanitizer, feminine products, and a mask because, quite frankly, I don't want to get sick at the airport before I even get there. Gum, I get nauseous quite frequently, so that's always good to have on hand. This is more headphones, but I'm gonna seem like a total crazy person, but the reason that I bring these is because sometimes on the plane you can watch a movie and they only take the ones that you put directly, like they plug into the screen, and so I bring my own because I don't like the feeling of the earplugs that they give you, or the earbuds that they give you. These things are more like just in case. This is blood sugar monitor and I'm having a total brain fart. Thermometer. That's what that is. That is a thermometer. And then this is my TENS unit for chronic pain. And then I like to give myself something to look forward to, so I got dark chocolate covered almonds. I also eat gluten-free, so I can't always eat the snacks that they give you on the plane. But look at that. It all fit. Magic. There you have it. Ta-da! At this point, I had mostly finished packing, and my mom had sent me a message saying that there was going to be a play at a local park, so I made myself some dinner and some water, and I tied it up in this really cute little towel. This is one of my favorite artists. Her name is Ellie Halpin. So I packed everything up in there, and I ended up having to park in overflow parking, so at this point I was kind of regretting the hike that I was going to have to take to get to where the play was happening, but in the end it was all worth it, and I really enjoyed the play itself. The actors did a really nice job at the play, and there was also quite a few statues around the park, so on my way back I got to see this cute little dragon statue, and somebody had left this little guy there. Okay, I'm back. It's 8:30 and I have procrastinated enough, so I got some water for my watercolors, and it is time to buckle down and get some work done, and then I think I'm gonna take a little shower and try to go to bed at a reasonable hour. It's 9:20 and here's where we're at. I'm hoping to be done by 10. For the plane ride, I got my boarding passes and everything all set, so that's good to go. And then also I'm gonna download a podcast. I got all of my boarding passes and everything on my phone. I downloaded the airlines app, so that should work just fine. But I recommend like finding something to do on the flight, because that's always fun other than just like sitting there bored.